Hello everyone, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. I got a color guard video here. It's from a few years ago, but it's 4th Brigade, first place color guard, best of the best, which is pretty neat. So we get to watch this performance, but I get sent videos every once in a while or links to them and asked, well, what about this color guard? You know, it's the best of the best and they got first place, and then I get maybe some questions. And the questions here are about the staffs, the flag size, etc., and a couple other things, and we'll see as we go through. So what I wanted to go through today is flag staff size and flag dimensions. So the flag staff length, I shouldn't say size really, is the flag staff length is for the Army, for the Air Force, and for the Space Force. All three of the services can carry a 9'6" staff with a 4'4" by 5'6" flag on it. So it's the larger flag, the largest flag that the color guards can carry is on the tallest staff. Actually, every service carries those. However, only the Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard only carry those. Those are the only staff lengths and flag dimensions authorized. That's it. That's the only one that you can carry. Now, and this is just me talking here, I understand where cadet organizations go with the smaller dimension flag and the shorter staff. I get that, and I understand that wholeheartedly. So I'm not a huge stickler for you must, do this because we're dealing with shorter and sometimes even developing cadets. So developing in strength and size and etc. So and I don't think there needs to be any undue strain put on cadets. So anyway, so all of the services have the tall staff and the large flag. All of them carry it. Only the Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard carry that only. That's it. That's the only flag staff length and flag size. The Army, Air Force, and Space Force also have 8-foot staffs and 3x4 flags. So, and I just said 3x4, not 3x5. I know 3x5 is much more common to find, but the only authorized flag dimension there, the smaller flag, is 3x4. I know that almost everybody and their brother has a 3x5 flag in their inventory, and I understand that, but you actually have to ask the flag companies to if they have the 3x4 flag, and it's the only smaller size authorized, 3x4. So the Air Force and Space Force go a size smaller with the staff, 7-foot staff, and it's only for posting colors indoors. That's it. You never carry it any other time. That's it. It doesn't show up any other time. It's only for posting indoors, and that's the only time. Not even for a show and go. It's only for posting indoors, not presenting, just posting. So interesting. Anyway, so let's get back to the Army. The Army goes one step further, and they say that the 9'6" staff can have the 3x4 flag attached to it. This is the only service that does that, and you can see here these are 9'6" staffs with either a 3x4 or 3x5 flag. You can tell because the cases are so short. Now, what about the makeup of the staff? All right, so this is a light, you can see this is my flag staff. It's just the top here that I have. Middle screw joint, upper finial or upper ferrule right here, and then this is the spade finial. This is the only flagstaff authorized, light ash wood guide-on flagstaff. The only flagstaff authorized for every single service. This is it. Aluminum staffs are not authorized at all, ever, except for all female color guards, only for the Army, AJROTC, and only at competitions. And it's only if the SOP says that the all-female color guard can carry them. So this is not an all-female color guard. These staffs then are not authorized, but it is at a competition. So if this were an all-female color guard, then they would be authorized. Now, why the difference? I really don't know, honestly. However, most of the time when things happen for a color guard at a competition, you start to see it elsewhere, just like the state flag. You know, many JROTCs carry the state flag. Not supposed to. Supposed to carry either the departmental or the organizational flag, and along with the American, obviously. But a lot of times, then the state flag is put in there, and really it has to do with either the cost of the flag, or and the availability, really, also. But there's a big undertoned controversy as to dipping the flag. So a departmental flag, organizational flag for the military is not just randomly dipped whenever the commander says present arms. It just doesn't happen. You can read about it. I don't need to explain it. The state flag, though, is dipped as soon as present arms is given. So that lends to the American or the state flag being carried more often than not. Anyway, let's go ahead with the critique. So you can see here, very sharp arm swing, good spacing held throughout, except right there. Now you can see that the left rifle guard actually moved over into the organizational bearer. So that's unfortunate because they had perfect spacing. That was such a great entrance. Mark time is much too high, as we can see here, by the national bearer. The only one who is really close to the proper height is the left rifle guard. So your toe should only be coming a couple inches off the marching surface. And I've done a study of mark time. You can go to my website and read that article. It's very strange when you actually break down mark time for all of the services. It's really, really weird. Anyway, the toe coming up a couple inches is pretty much it for all the services. But you need to read that and get into it, because it's just so odd, the actual requirements of mark time. So inconsistent mark time, but I loved the arm swing of the guards. That was superb. Nicely done with going to carry colors and having that all sync up. You can see a nice step technique as they march forward. And now you can also see here the left guard marches in a little arc. Instead of staying in place and having the entire team wheel around that pivot point right there, instead it's the guard is moving as well with the team. When the guard should be dressing to the left, as soon as the command is given, the dress goes to the left, and then the guard should be marching in place and rotating, just like you stuck a pin in a piece of paper and turned it and had the rest of the team come around. Very consistent arm swing there. Great end step there for the halt. They go through this sequence for, yep, look at that, really nicely done. Face in, march out. So what's interesting here is that for the uncase, we're actually supposed to use the present guide-on. A raised guide-on, not present, but raised guide-on. So for the Air Force, raised guide-on has the left hand here, right hand here. Here, I'll use my staff. So this is raised guide-on for the Air Force. This is raised guide-on for the Army. I'm looking in my monitor here just to make sure you can see everything. And then when you bring the staff down, then I highly suggest that you pull it in. It should be under the armpit, just like they have, but the left hand should have come above the head. It's a strange technique, but that's what's required. Now, also, when at carry, the flag staffs should be angled slightly forward. So they met the staff coming down. I get that, and I appreciate it. However, that's not the proper technique. So coming out and raising the hand up would be good. And I've seen teams where they'll just switch the hands. I don't appreciate that at all, actually. It just, and one thing I'll mention right here. I'll get to see, they're carrying the organizational. Fantastic job. I'm really glad you're doing that. One thing that I do appreciate about folding the case while it's on the flagstaff still, I do appreciate that because it gives you better control of the case after you remove it. You're not dealing with the whole case, you're just dealing with half of it, or even a quarter, really, if you fold it again. So I definitely appreciate that. I do appreciate them keeping, you can see those are 3x4 flags. We'll see here. Well, okay, so the American is a 3x5 flag, the organizational is a 3x4. It has to be a 3x4. It's not made in other dimensions. So I do very much appreciate with the height variation here with the color bearers. I do appreciate them coming up just slightly, unfurling the flag so it's definitely off the marching surface, in no danger of touching anything below it. That's great. You unroll until the spade is flat. However, they don't have the correct spade. They have a Civil War spear on there. Now, I say Civil War. One side for the Civil War used the. That's not. It doesn't look like the. I really should get some and use them as visual aids to talk about them. So there's the conical spear head that is it's a cone, like an upside down ice cream cone with the point at the top, and then there's also the one it looks almost exactly the same, except it has flat sides on it. So one side used the one with the flat sides, the other side used the cone. Whatever. Anyway, those easily fit on the aluminum staffs, and it should be this. This is the only authorized finial. So not carrying the cases correctly. Remember, the cases need to be carried like this, like a book, not like that. Right? It needs to be just like that, and that enables these two fingers to come over, grab the sling, and then render that salute properly. And the salute is rendered hold up. That's it. Perfect. Good job. Good job, guards. And then finish the salute straight down. Excellent. Great arm swing, I gotta say. really appreciate that very much. So now, see, the guards should have had the cases folded up as squared off as possible. And what they're doing now is they're draping the case over the belt when it should be tucked in the belt. This, I'm using my famous pink dust rag here. So this is in the belt, and then this is over the belt, and the TC says in the belt. And regardless of service, we use the training circulars techniques for color guard. So you can see here, left guard is fairly tall, and yet slightly shorter arms. And so what he's doing then is going to present not pulling altering his body so that the front sight is at eye level. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to strain and stress your body and try and manipulate the rifle to get it to eye level. It doesn't matter. Eye level is for those who can get there without the stress and strain of the body, and then as long as it's not below eye level, everything's fine. Eye level or higher when you have shorter guards there. Fingers are wrapped slightly around the small of the stock. Left hands are low. Don't appreciate the smack of the butt. I know we're going for sharpness, but that's not a technique. As you come from present, you're going to come to port, grab the butt, and then come up without flaring that elbow. Come up to right shoulder and cut away. So typical colors reverse of flanking movements instead of the face in march movements. You can see my breakdown, and you see how the left guard is actually moving over to the team instead of the team dressing on the left guard. It'll be interesting to see the right wheel after this. So colors reverse is a series of faces in marching, and that means the pivot is on the right foot's platform. So it's a very interesting concept. I have no idea really why the Army would require only pivots on the right foot's platform. No idea at all. And the right foot platform is the ball of the foot and then everything forward. Good end step there as well. Again, staying in line, staying dressed. Good spacing here. So right here, not at the proper position of order. I know she just gave parade rest, but order has the arm fully extended all the way down the staff so that your hand looks like that. All the hands actually need to look the same. I'm going to go back just slightly. There. So she has a full grip on the rifle and shouldn't. So interestingly enough, we have the guidon staff, which doesn't have a guidon attached to it. So then it's a flag staff when it has a flag attached to it. For parade rest, the guidon manual, the manual for the guidon staff is parade rest and bring the hand up so that the forearm is horizontal, and then push the staff out. That's for the guidon. We don't do that for flags for parade rest. We don't push out. However, it does seem to be the technique of bringing the hand up like this so that the forearm is horizontal for parade rest. Now, the writing in the training circular doesn't indicate that, but those ridiculous drawings do. And I'd love to see the Army put out the training circular with pictures of a real person and taken by a photographer without the flag attached, so that you can see all of the arm positions, and then have the flag attached and have the whole color guard together performing each of the movements. But with just an empty staff, it would be nice. One individual, one color bearer to go through all of the positions without a flag attached to it. So this brings up another point. The commander at the beginning gave at close interval dress right dress. You don't have to do that. You give fall in, and then you get your dress cover interval and distance. But then again, you don't get interval and distance. It's just your dress, dress and interval. And I get it. Cadets are overly concerned at times to do certain things, but you just give fall in, and then that's all taken care of. So, but having said that, when the commander is in formation, the commander should react to their own commands. Instead of coming to attention, the commander should have stayed at parade rest. The Air Force actually stipulates this in the pamphlet. Army doesn't. However, it makes sense. And the more I judge, the more I see cadets who they have a formation and the commander is here. The commander is performing all the movements of the formation, parade rest and present arms, things like that. The more I see that, the more I'm beginning to understand that really we don't know. In general, I'm talking in general for junior ROTC all around the world, we're not fully aware of the commander's responsibilities outside of the formation and then inside the formation. So inside the formation would be for a color guard, a flag detail, or a parade staff, a parade command staff. Those are the three formations where the commander is in the formation, and the commander should respond to their own commands. When outside the formation for a squad or a platoon, and really anything higher than, the commander doesn't respond to their own commands. The commander gives the commands, and the formation responds. So now I'm getting a good view of where the harness sockets are. The American flag's being carried lower. That's grounds for disqualification, in my view. If you can't be bothered to understand that the harness sockets need to be at least at the same level, then you're not fulfilling all of the duties, all the requirements of a color guard. So I get it. The American flag bearer is slightly shorter, just slightly. It's interesting. Their waist levels are a little more different than their height, but still, there's plenty of room for the American flag bearer's socket to be raised up. Plenty of room. Right wheel was much better than the left wheels. It's very interesting to see how left wheel, the left guard is constantly moving over towards the team, and then right wheel, the guard is staying in place. Very interesting. Also, I wanted to say the application of their first step is really good. You'll see many cadets trying to create the momentum required for a first step and not looking as good as this. Not pushing down with the right heel to create momentum, to create that movement forward, and then taking the first step smoothly instead of just kind of a slam down of the right foot. Really well done, propelling themselves forward. Nice job. Really well done on that right wheel, both right wheels. So what the commander's supposed to do is execute a face-in march and then rotate in place. I think a good count is 6 counts because it gives the team 8 counts to get fully around. But rotate after the face-in march, rotate 6 steps. That 90-degree angle. Good. Slight timing issue, phasing issue really with the head turn. Maintaining a consistent tempo. So you can see the cases just really do not present a professional image. The cases tucked in the belt still don't present all that great of a professional image. However, it's going to be much better to have the cases tucked inside the belt with a little bit showing at the top and bottom. Slight difference in the rifle angles, just a slight difference. And it looks like as they come out to port, they're coming out to that 4-inch distance from the breastbone, and then present is also the same distance. That's great, good application of technique there. Well done on the movement back in to get the cases. Again, the cases need to be carried like a book, so that it's along the forearm. So left guard slightly bends the left knee to execute that about face. So really, the left knee needs to be locked. It's the right knee that bends and pulls the body around. Good. The staffs are maintaining the same level. Well done. But see, when you finish either furling or unfurling, the staff needs, or the spade needs to be flat, and it's impossible to tell if the spade is flat here because it's the incorrect spade. Well done on the synchronization there. Slight movement up by the left guard, I get that. Now, instead of halting and then executing it about face, I actually prefer the method of taking a step beyond, executing a rear march, and then being able to step up into place because you can better visualize where you're going to stop, rather than having to say stop where, okay, org bearer's shoulder is here. My shoulder needs to come to here so that when I turn around, my shoulder, it's a lot of figuring out where a straight approach from the rear like that could be much better. But I saw that left guard. Nicely done. Well, slamming the equipment onto the floor, I'm not a huge fan of. Not at all. Especially the flagstaffs. But you're in a color guard, so you really shouldn't. I know we want the sharpness, but sharpness doesn't necessarily mean making sound with your equipment, and you really shouldn't. But no wonder they got first place. That was a very good job. And of course, I'd have to see every single other color guard to see if I agree with the judges. That doesn't matter. I'm just critiquing this performance because it is really good. Really well done. Excellent job, team. That was good. Let's see here. I want to. So South Lakes High School Junior ROTC, 4th Brigade. This was 4 years ago. It was posted. So excellent job. Honestly, excellent job. All right. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Have a great day.